expose these folks and return government to people. And he's betrayed that promise. And that's why you look at my X feed. I encourage folks to just go and look at the X feed. I've got more MAGA supporters standing up for me than I ever have in my entire.
What up? What up? What up? Watching a little bit of stuff.
Saying you're killing Donald Trump's presidency.
He's right.
So
absolutely.
Feel free to voice your opinion.
Fight to Trump. Take the fight to Trump. They all
Hi, TikTok.
Call him a fascist. Call him a dictator. No one has actually been able to break.
Join in the discussion.
The reason Massey and I have actually been able to break the MAGA coalition is because we're actually saying we're on the people's side instead of the system side. That the system is rotten. That's what you got to do as a first principle for the Democratic Party. The system is rotten. Too much big money. Too much wealthy people. Too many people who are getting away with things. And that we're going to be on the side of the people against this rotten system.
You're right.
That was what Trump was saying, but he hasn't delivered.
True.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think this is, from my analysis, it almost feels like this is one of the purest expressions of like class politics that Americans can get on board with. It's not. He's right. It's not dialectics. It's not materialist at all. But it is like
it's representative.
Something that they have seen or something that they've suspected. There's obviously a lot of conspiracy around this sort of stuff. Like this was the whole motivating principle around QAnon, right?
Yeah.
Or Pizzagate or numerous other conspiracies.
I forgot about Pizzagate.
Not
Zig.
But now what I am seeing is there are some people who see that this is as opposed to the
gonna be streaming a lot more again, brother.
You know, these sorts of conspiracy theories.
I got a lot more time now.
Unlike
beautiful new setup.
Claim that these super wealthy people were communicating with one another and like using code words for child pornography or ordering
CP
children
like
off
cheese
of
pizza
Wayfair or whatever.
Yeah.
Brazen. They were pretty open about like Jeffrey Epstein. There's stuff that came out from the files that Jeffrey Epstein was mad at.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Been a minute.
That, was procuring children.
I came back yesterday for the Jake Paul fight. Had 1,600 people. All right, there's clearly a demand for Upfront Tony to get back on the airwaves.
They're taking photos with these young girls.
If the FBI is even investigating it, what do they have to worry about?
Exactly.
I mean,
Let me know if there's any sounds out of place, because I got a lot of going on at one time.
Well, if they're 18, I don't care a lot about that.
But for anyone who says, there's not other rich and powerful people who are involved.
1,200?
One person is not abusing 1,200 people. Just the math doesn't work.
Shit. You don't think I could get through 1,200 women? I could do it 2 months. 1,200 beautiful women.
Oh my God.
We either watch young girls be paraded around.
The math adds up. Bad news. And they're hiding the truth from us. Thanks, Zeke. Originals, everything's just moved around. And back there, I got the biggest drum set in the world. It's electronic. It's regular. And there's a whole band shit over here. I'm getting some cameras, and I'm going to put them over there, and I'll be able to do the whole fucking thing. Like nobody else can do it. They just can't. Who can play guitar, bass, drums, keyboards, turntables, synthesizers, put it all together and want on TV and make a beat then?
Or rape them.
I told someone yesterday it was 500 to 1,000.
This is, I think, resonant is people feel an anger that they've lost their economic voice. They don't control their own political voice.
Yep. What happened, Trump?
Something that's wrong with the system. And this
I'm
is
just
like
kidding.
a symbol of what's wrong.
He's still good.
Absolutely. It's a perfect
completely
demonstration
right.
of like how
He's still good by me.
wealthy get away with doing heinous crimes.
Yep.
While simultaneously controlling the levers of power, right?
He's right.
And I think that's the reason why a lot of people this is a bipartisan thing, and not bipartisan in the sense that like politicians.
I'm going to tell you why they ain't releasing all the files at one time. And it's pretty easy. The whole world would go crazy. Everyone's going to start revolution, riot, destroying everything. If they release those files, they could be accused of inciting a riot. So they're damned if they do, and they're damned if they don't. We're never gonna get the files are gonna be all stepped on, washed over, twisted, then put through a filter that's filtered by other filters and black magic markers. At the end of the day, ain't nothing gonna change.
We're on board with it, but this is a bipartisan issue in the eyes of the public. And as you also suggested, as you also correctly pointed out,
it should be.
I believe it's Donald Trump's least
By every
popular
poll.
issue with his base.
Yeah.
54% disapproval, as opposed to everything else where the MAGA base
agree with
this?
this?
80% approval rating on anything that Donald Trump is doing, with the exception of this, where there's a 54% disapproval. So it's pretty significant. And
oh my God!
One of the angles that I wanted to cover here, however, that I feel like the media is noticeably absent on, omitting, is the potential. The potential connection.
Game is loud.
The super wealthy, but like intelligence.
Which
I know
intelligence?
I'm sure you've seen the drop site reporting on
Which
this
intelligence?
Stuff. There was
just saying.
Jeffrey Epstein's
Talk about the shirt.
Email address was leaked. Was hacked and his
Damn game is too loud in the sound.
Correspondence with world leaders and everyone else was leaked for all to see, and there has been very little coverage on this from
There we go.
Publishers, unfortunately, and the only time I ever hear about this connection between Jeffrey Epstein and
It's forcing me to hear some music.
Intelligence, even though he is very clearly connected to Ehud Barak. And we knew
that's
about this
the previous prime
well,
minister of Israel,
and numerous other
he was in the photo with David Blaine.
World leaders. The only time legacy media covers this is to say it's.
How does turn them all off?
It's to say, oh, this suggestion is so ridiculous.
I'm still learning the new gear.
Thomas Massey also brought this up yesterday, where he said a big part of the reason why there is this major cover-up is because. It is very likely that Jeffrey Epstein was connected in some way, shape, or form to our intelligence and also to Israeli intelligence as well.
All right.
Do you have any opinions on that?
Well, my opinion is that that's why we need the release of the files. That's why this was drafted in a way that would get.
He doesn't want to say it. He doesn't want to say it.
That's why the lawyers of the survivors say you need all the files: the financial files, the national security files, the FBI files.
Oh yeah, duh.
That isn't a
control everything.
National security issue.
To be honest, he might not know.
It saying you can't overclassify information if there's not a significant, clear national security
There we go.
threat, then it has to be
The volume knob.
This will put to rest the issue is if we could have transparency, if the American people can see the files.
Yeah. He's right.
And if they can't see the files, then conspiracies will continue to grow, whether true or not. And so I guess even the legacy media should be just calling for the release of the files.
Yeah,
he's right.
And there is this somewhat elitist attitude, I feel like, that at least I've seen. I have tremendous respect for many.
How do I turn just the music down for the background?
Very good work, and oftentimes do very good work. But overall, I feel like the editorial teams and the way that they respond to this kind of stuff is
it's patronizing
to simply say, "Oh, the public doesn't know how to handle this information."
Okay, that's what that is.
And I think that's
a
dangerous. That's a dangerous line of thinking in general. The idea that people are too stupid to.
So if I hit this button,
but they can't see the evidence.
That invites additional scrutiny, and that actually invites a lot of conspiracy theories.
Exactly.
Many of which can go down a dangerous path and actually do become anti-Semitic conspiracy
Interesting.
theories.
Interesting.
Like the Jews control the media, and it's Israel. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, you know Zeke.
By credible actors, and investigative reporters. So I always appreciate what DropSite is doing. In terms of doing that investigation, that investigative reporting and that work. There are, connections between Jeffrey Epstein and obviously Ehud Barak. There's connections between Jeffrey Epstein and people that were possibly involved in Iran-Contra. That just recently
just
came
unredacted
out.
Most of the 119 page documents.
I guess one of the questions I have for you is...
I'll have to look at it after this.
There was another statement that Thomas Massey made that he said 20 to 25 people, if they are not outed as being co-conspirators or, as being engaged with Jeffrey Epstein in some way, shape, or form. By the time Friday comes around, that means that there will have been heavy redaction in direct violation of the act that was passed.
Correct.
Have you guys actually seen the unredacted files?
We have not. We've requested to see them. In fact, one of the things.
How is it that you're a representative? You can't see it.
Is putting together a committee of Congress, me, him, maybe someone.
This is ridiculous.
Committee to go and look at these files, even if it's in a classified setting, to be able to say what complies and what doesn't comply. Because right now, they have shown no good faith in complying. And the reality is, we know that the survivors' lawyers have seen the files. And they have told us, and the survivors have told us, that there are other powerful men who either abused or raped these girls or showed up on the rape island while these girls were being abused. I mean, it's not...
Like I said,
that's a big or.
The whole world will go crazy if they knew.
I'm in their 20s. And then you've got like this young girl walking around.
They're going to learn about Satan and demons,
now, my view is every person, man,
black magic and the black pope and the Satanism.
Of course.
And so it's not just men who actually abused or raped these girls. It's also people who were showing up to these sick parties knowing that young girls were being paraded around.
True.
And that's the type of information that we're
If you were there, you were complicit.
If we get that 60 count if we get the 82-page memo that the prosecutions wrote, and if we get the FD forms, the FBI forms of interviews of all of the men who were interviewed by the FBI to understand what happened. I mean, how do you have a situation of a release where no one else's names are in there being investigated? Obviously, if there are 1,200 victims, the FBI concluded that some of these people were innocent or not guilty, they would have interviewed them. They would have been witnesses. There would have been questions. Where is all that stuff?
No, absolutely. I guess redacted, or they haven't even released many of the files yet, right? Like they're still
ain't released nothing yet.
Clearly going through to hit the heavy-handed redaction that they did to the first tranche of
it was Mossad
they were forced to release,
keeping
even
tabs on everybody
in violation of the act that was passed.
Exactly.
So my question, and I'm sure everyone else's question here, is, what are the next steps here?
It's the articles of impeachment, right?
There are a few steps. First of all, obviously, impeachment is on the table.
Yes.
For Pam Bondi.
Yes.
There is criminal prosecution that she could face, or others at the Justice Department could face. And by the way, that criminal prosecution risk runs well beyond this administration. The next administration, in my view,
the next administration, boy.
There needs to be accountability.
Exactly.
I don't think there's going to be another one.
Crimes committed.
True.
Accountability for crimes.
I don't think there's going to be any more administrations.
Men are being killed, and accountability.
I don't agree with that. I don't think they're innocent.
Trump's going to go for king, or the end of the world's happening.
But Massey and I are also in the process of drafting.
AI will destroy everything beforehand.
What does that mean? Pam Bondi could be
no more another presidents.
She's not agreeing to release these documents, and we're going to propose a group of people in Congress, a bipartisan group that gets to review these documents, so that we can assess what is a legitimate redaction and what is not, and actually have her comply with the law. Because my goal is not retribution; it's not to score a point.
It should be. It absolutely should be.
My goal is justice for these survivors.
Yeah, no, fuck that. Should be retribution.
Documents out. One point.
Yeah, I'm past justice.
May have been
I'm way past it.
Them just seeing, okay, what can we get away with? And the outcry that's come out, hopefully this pushes them to realize that they're not done with this. Just the before Christmas release isn't working.
Yeah.
That there's going to be more demand for these documents to actually come out.
So that's one angle for sure. And I think that there is a lot of appetite.
I just saw one that said, it said they had to do 9/11 because we found a Stargate in Iraq. And they had to keep us away from the Stargate, or they had to acquire the Stargate. So they had to formulate a reason to attack Iraq. They had to pick a reason, some reason, any reason. And now we have the Stargate. Believe ish? Whole Stargate.
Across the board, across the political spectrum,
everybody
for
wants
kind
this.
Of,
everybody wants this.
Some kind of transparency in all of this. Clearly, if that wasn't the case, then Donald Trump wouldn't have signed this act into law to begin with, right? and they have mishandled this process absolutely. I guess. What are the next steps? Not to throw curveballs here, but like, what are the next steps if like Donald Trump offers a blanket pardon across the board to everyone that's mishandling this or deliberately redacting things in violation of the law?
Well, he could do that, and it would make it harder for them to be prosecuted in the future. But, I mean, do you really want to be a career Justice Department official or even appointee having as the capstone on your career being pardoned by Donald Trump for protecting pedophiles? I mean, that's really what people will be choosing. And then it'll be the next administration that releases all of this. But
it's going to be really bad.
Not giving up, because the reason I believe it's possible to shift the administration is we shifted Trump from calling it a hoax to signing the bill. Because the one thing you can read is
that's true.
Opinion.
Yeah,
got to start somewhere.
He saw that this was going to be a huge story. It was hurting his presidency. In fact, he kept saying, "I don't know why we keep."
Wait till they find out that there's Satan involved.
It was the Achilles heel, the kryptonite.
He's right.
His administration.
Absolutely.
And so now
100%.
Literal Satan.
Another whiff.
Beelzebub.
Susan Wild said she keeps whiffing.
God damn it.
She's so out of touch. She was supposed to meet the survivors, and then she said, "Oh, I've got an appointment. I can't meet the survivors."
Yeah. There was one thing that I also
convenient.
wanted to bring up with Pam Bondi's inconsistency in the way that she's actually talked about this, because obviously initially when they got together and did this like fake release of the Epstein files with all of the MAGA influencers,
right.
and that was a major W. Like they thought that this would satiate people's appetite for the truth,
right?
And very clearly, it was all the stuff that we had access to already. And I think they thought that
told you, bro, they don't want a revolution.
Not demand more, where they were like, oh yeah,
the people would lose their brains. They knew it was actually happening.
Was celebrating that they got this.
There is deep. They're called DUMBs. Deep underground military bases loaded with the 400,000 missing children that happen every year in this country alone. They're just down. They're way deep down underground in bases. And there's like compartments, a bunch of kids in them, and they all just go down in the underground tunnels. And there's trains that link the motherfuckers underneath the ground and shit.
This tranche of data.
Yeah.
I ain't making this up.
But in the process,
The binders.
I saw this on a
said that we now know
matter of fact, the guy that said it, they killed him.
are absolutely
Phil Schneider is his name. I suggest everyone go investigate old Philly Schneider and see what happens. He said there's aliens in the dumb underground military bases, and they shoot electricity. It's real life shit. Underground, deep.
true. The notion, for example, that
There aren't any
a
files.
lot of the CSAM that was in the Epstein files was commercially bought CSAM. We now know that there is, we now know that that's probably not true, right? Because there is a lot of not just redacted, but like CSAM slips that are all over the Epstein files. That
It's probably
were released.
both, realistically.
Obviously, they're not going to digitize
Right.
copies of child
Yeah,
sexual abuse materials,
course.
but like it's very clear that that was a hard copy that wasn't actually like digitally acquired or anything like that. There's instances where Jeffrey Epstein personally is actually like.
What's he saying? Like the manufacturer? Oh, okay. Oh.
year-old victims. And
We unfortunately saw some of that.
The notion that this was
We did?
6, remember that? That was crazy.
I don't want to see that.
The notion that this was just Jeffrey
Who saw that?
Epstein's doing, that he was just simply procuring all of this stuff for
He's just
himself
procuring it?
is
What's procure
very
mean?
Untrue.
It's obviously
So,
not true.
That inconsistency, does that
Does procure mean manufacture?
is it perjury? I mean, is there, or does that only happen if
Yeah,
if Pam Bondi
perjury.
is in
I
front
like
of,
that.
Congress,
Sounds good.
I guess?
The biggest thing is she's obstructed justice. She
Yeah.
can be impeached because
Of course.
she didn't comply with the law. I mean, that's the obstruction of justice, and that's grounds for impeachment. Is grounds for criminal prosecution.
Well, who the hell we gonna have as president? Oh, okay, J.D. Vance.
In front of the
Yes.
country and said, "There's nothing more to see." We've
Exactly.
released
He seems
everything."
kind of normal.
By their own admission, they're releasing hundreds of thousands of
Seems
more
relatively
documents.
normal
What
guy.
changed?
Yeah.
Well, how did they suddenly find all these documents? By the way,
What?
there are 300 gigabytes files on the Epstein files. How do I know this?
3.5 or
Patel
2
in front of Congress said they're 300 gigabytes, and they've released yesterday 2.5 gigabytes.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
I mean, they've got,
And they're probably the weakest gigabytes of them all, too.
all the interviews. They're 1,200 witnesses.
I guarantee you they gave us the weakest gigabytes available. They were like, here's a couple gigabytes. Maybe they won't ask no more. Maybe they'll forget.
All the interviews that they were conducting, all the other men who were on the island,
Jesus.
all the other men who participated in this. I mean,
Bigger than Warzone. Yeah, it's bigger than Call of Duty.
Documents. We don't want just random files. We don't want just random.
That's a
photos.
big game.
We want to know who was on that island.
Yeah.
Who knew about these young girls being raped? Who engaged in
Could be videos
either
they cannot
rape or
post.
abuse or sex on
Then
that
they should
island.
explain it, because
all
that's
that
in the bill.
information is in those
They're obligated to explain that.
FBI witness interview FD files.
Yeah. Also, what level of involvement did Steve Bannon have, for example, another Trump
Ooh.
affiliate that we
'Cause he
know
was there.
deeply connected to
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein, and there's a lot of inconsistency
True.
in the way that he's also presented himself here. At first, after Julie K. Brown's investigative reporting at the Miami Herald,
Yeah, she's
when
terrific.
she's amazing. When the second Epstein trial was starting, Bannon actually went to Jeffrey Epstein and conducted these interviews in the form of deposition training and to do PR. And then, when the attitude shifted against Jeffrey Epstein even more than it had, he very quickly turned around and said, "Oh, I'm just shooting a documentary," right? But there are so
I'm
many
not familiar
photos
with this.
of Steve Bannon
With Epstein.
being chummy with Jeffrey
Yeah.
Epstein. Why is none of that in the investigation?
Can you pause
Why
this,
was that
motherfucker?
redacted? I mean, this is not even Donald
Nice.
Trump's
I can smoke
document. This is
weed.
A totally, supposedly unaffiliated
Pot,
video.
I mean.
So, like, why is the Department of Justice?
You know what Trump did good? You know what he did good? You know what he did? He took marijuana from Schedule 1 and gave him a new schedule, a much better schedule, like going from working graveyard to now a nice schedule. Weekends off, couple breaks to Schedule 3. That's the same schedule as like Sudafed. By next week, you'll be able to go into Walgreens, CVS, and just show me your ID, and you can grab you some legal marijuana right behind the counter. Talk about a good thing he's done. All praise King Trump for that one. Back to you, Asmongold and Handsome Piker.
Department of Justice not only sheltering Donald Trump, but sheltering
That was gay.
Trump allies who are political operatives themselves. I mean, that's not a matter of national security, right?
No, they're sheltering rich and powerful people.
Yeah.
Just like they're sheltering the survivors. I mean, the whole point of the Epstein Act was that we want to know who these rich and powerful people were.
Yeah.
That they weren't charged. Usually the
What the hell?
people who weren't charged. But
Only Ghislaine was charged.
shouldn't be destroyed if you weren't charged. But in
Yeah.
this case, we know that the process was corrupt. We know that the law enforcement couldn't be trusted.
Yeah.
We know that they didn't follow the FBI.
I think Ghislaine should be forced to show us her boobs. I just thought of that because she does got nice boobs. If you could expose everybody else's shit, you should just make her.
Tips that we know that they didn't
I'll
prosecute.
give you 8 months off your sentence. That's probably controversial.
So in this case, the American public is saying we do want everything out there because the justice system let these women down.
Yeah. Justice delayed is justice denied.
There's like
And
1,200 women.
delayed.
Right.
And the further they, the further that the Department of
They make it
Justice
seem like there's
engaged
8
in this cover-up,
or something.
they're only expanding
gonna make
on
themselves look
the
worse.
injustice that they
Yeah.
participated in.
Everybody
early on.
sees it.
So, what do you? This is actually a good question. What would you think is like a?
This is actually a good question. All the other ones, they sucked. I got a good one for you, though.
Ooh.
What would be a real
Israel,
example of like
A national security threat.
national security concern that they engage
They're
in some
releasing
sort of
it,
redaction
yeah.
on?
Well, look, if there
Hypothetical.
was actually
Hypothetical.
Some conversation where it would expose someone who is a spy or a CIA agent and expose who they are and their
that makes
identity,
sense.
or expose their family.
That actually does make sense.
You don't want to put
That's
people
pretty good.
at risk
Yeah,
during
sure.
those roles. If Epstein happened to know something because he knew a lot of powerful people about our national secrets in terms of our sensitive weapons or sensitive information, you wouldn't want that.
Yeah, we got some sensitive ass weapons. You know what I'm saying? They were like, "Psh, you're the weakest. You're a weak ass missile." Oh, the missile gets all sensitive. He's like, he called me a weak missile. I'm a missile too. I'm a missile too. I'm not weak. Very sensitive weaponry we have. It's unbelievable. Weaponry back in the day was not sensitive. Weapons back in the day were like, I'm a tank. I'm a grenade. I'm a missile launcher. I'm a laser guided. I don't know, whatever they guide lasers with. But yeah, today, even the weapons are sensitive. The hell is the world coming to?
That's probably
I blame Enron. What's that company called? They make all the weapons. Something on Enron. Shit, it'll come to me.
To be honest, it is. It's a very reasonable answer.
Comments made about a foreign leader that you don't want the American president to be exposed in that way, or another country thinking something. So there are cases, and we can debate what those cases are. People often say, why did you not write the bill in a way that said everything has to come out and not even have an exception for classified information? And anyone who's been in Congress more than a day will tell you there's no chance anything like that would pass. There's too many people in Congress who'd say, who just find that as the excuse. Tana and Massey want to get rid of classified information. So we had the narrowest possible classified drafting to be able to get that bill through.
Okay, so that, for the record, that in and of itself, though, I think does lend even further credence to the suspicion that there was
Credence Clearwater Revival?
Kind of involvement with the intelligence community.
It ain't me. It ain't me.
Is often
I ain't no bullshit. Whoa, no.
Like asset or Mossad asset. Excuse me.
It ain't me.
Theory. But obviously it goes beyond that as well. There are people who are not, CIA affiliated that are
very lonely. It's uncertain.
Being sheltered here very clearly. There's also
it's likely. I would believe it happened.
The redactions, as we have seen from the actions that the Department of Justice took after people realized that they failed to redact some of the documents. Forth correspondence that has taken place. I mean, even with these files, there was one photo with David Blaine doing. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
The guy's name was Israel.
Blaine doing magic tricks in a room with Jeffrey Epstein and also former Prime Minister of Israel Ehud Barak.
It's legal. I got a medical card.
Had also. Is it David Copperfield?
I've got a medical card.
Anyway, here it is.
So go fuck yourselves.
For Jeffrey
I've had a medical card since that bitch became a thing.
Am I wrong? I don't know. One of the
I was like first in line.
Performing magic tricks for Epstein and a few notable names, including Israeli Prime
They're
Minister.
like, got your marijuana cards? Got your marijuana cards over here? Come over here. Get out of my way, everybody. Give me that fucking card. Thanks.
Brock. And the question I have, no, that is David Blaine.
God.
You guys are. Copperfield also did it as well. I don't know why everyone is.
David Copperfield looked like a weirdo. I'm sure he's guilty.
I'm not implying that.
He's got that weird look to him.
Is the important figure in this? Okay. Anyway, even though both were involved in different ways.
Yeah. You need to recover on that motherfucker.
It's things like this.
Hey, TikTok, come join us on the other one.
No doubt.
Understandably want answers
join in.
Do you feel like omitting this kind of stuff or refusing to talk about this kind of stuff is adding on to the scrutiny that people have for mainstream media.
It is, and it should.
Yeah, I think it all should come out. And we drafted. That's why the classified exception we drafted was the narrowest possible.
Baited an interview.
That you have to justify it. It can't be excessively used. It can't be used to cover up what actually took place. And we drafted it with the narrowest way in a way that could still pass the Congress. Because the reality is, if the bill doesn't pass the Congress, there's no use to it.
The Congress.
What we're saying is that there needs to be
just say Congress.
Documents, and then we can have a.
There has to be somebody outside of the circle.
Is it truly something redacted because it's going to protect the survivors or families or protect certain classified information, or should this be out there? My view is, if you don't have this out there, that's how you, as you pointed out, have conspiracy theories take hold. I mean, if there's nothing to hide, put it out there. Let people make that determination. By the way, the biggest thing that could be out there is the indictment, the 60-page indictment.
Yeah.
So people know.
Is that the 2007 one?
Foreign involvement. I mean, that indictment will say that right there. If there was no evidence in that indictment of foreign interest, that would be a big tell that maybe there wasn't there. If the indictment says, look, here are the 60 counts and here are the things that were happening.
I don't disagree with him.
That would be a big issue. That's why we explicitly.
Wait, this is the indictment for the second investigation or the first one?
This is the 60-page indictment, 60-count indictment that the assistant U.S. attorney in Florida put together in 2007.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is back in the day.
That Acosta ignored and then charges just 2 counts. Those are 60 counts. You don't have 60 counts just of.
How do you ignore 60 counts of this?
Yeah.
I
would go ahead and ignore that.
Transactions. We want to see all of that, and that will get to the questions that you've been asking.
So, that the other side of the story also is Alexander Acosta is out there. You know, like he is out there.
But y'all ain't supposed to be hearing that.
Man to maybe pull him in front of Congress. Is that something that you guys can entertain? Because like he was the labor secretary at the time.
Committee, but he's just not. You know, I don't think we can believe it. I
mean, because there is the famous secondhand there was some reporting in the media at the time that when he was labor secretary and he resigned because of the Epstein stuff. There was this question where he was like, "Oh, well, at the time, someone led me to believe that he was actually intelligent, someone from higher up." Because there was also a subsequent federal investigation that was taking place, and there were a lot of co-conspirators that actually were sheltered from.
Where's the photo taken at? How's the photo evidence?
Seemingly was.
It's not evidence, but deleting it is.
Sweetheart plea bargain that
don't you think?
There's no.
That's crazy.
There's no instance where there's this virtual RICO
like that's crazy to delete it.
Where you find so many people who are criminally liable potentially for financial crimes and potentially for sex crimes as well, trafficking of minors, where all of the other people that
hey yo Zeke, take it easy, bro.
These acts are
OG
only
Zeke Arena. All we need is Easy up in here. It'd be just like old times.
But we don't even know
only us three.
Indicted co-conspirators at all.
And a whole bunch of other people watch.
No, you're absolutely right. I'm seeing some of the questions. It's a great thing. You get instantaneous feedback. One, why is there no enforcement mechanism? There is.
He's reading the chat.
Obstruction of justice.
Oh my God!
This is one of the big misconceptions out there. Anyone who doesn't violate, who violates a congressional law, by definition, is obstructing justice, where Congress is asked for justice purposes and can be faced decades in prison for that. So the question is not. Is there an enforcement mechanism? It's, are we going to actually have it enforced? And if it's not going to be enforced by this administration, it needs to be enforced by the next one. The second point is that Acosta should be prosecuted if he's if there's clear evidence that of perjury. I mean you know, you can't come in and lie to Congress.
Well, now he has he's a cushy.
You can't be coming in and just lying to Congress and shit.
It's very interesting.
Who the hell you think you are?
Prosecutor upstart to like labor secretary under Donald Trump. To then resigning in disgrace, or at least like trying to quietly exit the Trump administration when the Epstein stuff was coming back to the forefront, only to now sit on the board, I believe, of Newsmax. That's what he's doing.
That's convenient for him.
There's got to be an accountability of what did he know.
It's very
but the
convenient.
reason it's so hard to prosecute individuals and hold them accountable is we don't have the files. So you know there's got to be the evidence of what came out.
Do talk like Kermit the Frog. Because we don't have the files. I'm Kermit the Frog and shit. This scrubby weird dude.
I'll say that there were no other individuals that could be charged in front of Congress.
He did say that.
There is also.
How does he know that? I mean, the survivors don't believe that. You know, do they think that all 12
survivors don't believe that shit?
Survivors were raped and abused by Epstein? Of course not. There were other people involved.
And they themselves.
We trying to figure out who they are too.
Because he can't lie there.
Survivors say that there is at least 20 to 25 people that were that are supposed to be in the first tranche of data that came out, that was supposed to come out yesterday, were supposed to be outed.
That was the whole point of the release, and not a single person. We don't have any single information about someone who was engaged in the abuse or cover up of the abuse beyond Maxwell and Epstein, and that's why this thing is a farce. And that's why Massey and I are upping the ante, saying we will use all our powers.
That's right.
It's inherent contempt.
Old Testament.
Whether it is impeachment.
Yes,
whether
everything.
It's referral for prosecution.
See, this is what I've wanted.
The reality is
should do this with everything.
Massey and I have been effective on this issue because we have cracked the MAGA coalition, because it's bipartisan, because we're taking on a corrupt system.
The only person who cracked it was Trump.
This is a corrupt system that has
That's
led
what I
to
think.
billionaires accumulating value. We need to have a billionaire tax in this country, a wealth tax. It's led
I don't remember what that
wars.
shit
We
do.
shouldn't be bombing people, innocent people on boats in the Caribbean.
There needs to be an AI
this
tax.
kind of
That's what needs to
corrupt
happen.
system through the Iraq War, which was wrong. It led to us in 20 years in Afghanistan. It led to
Only 20?
the overthrow of Libya, which was a total
Gaddafi.
foreign policy blunder. It led to supporting of Netanyahu and the genocide which the Israeli government committed in Gaza, and a blank check. And I was no to the 14 billion, and who has gotten on Delia Ramirez's bill to say block military sales to Netanyahu's government, and who's gotten on Rashida Tlaib's resolution.
He's so happy.
To say that
So
what the
happy.
Israeli government did was a genocide. But the point of all of this is,
Oh, God.
if we are not going to have politicians willing
No, he's right.
to tell the truth when it comes to things like Epstein, how do you expect them to tell
Politician
the
to tell the truth.
That's fair for him to say that.
That's a good one.
Economic policy.
It's
the
fair.
currency of modern politics should be courage and truth-telling,
Yes.
not just charisma and memes. Are you going to stand
Nah.
principle in this country?
I like this guy. This guy's he's really cooking. This is big.
Media landscape.
You need to learn about. You need to go read him some Machiavelli before he learn anything. It's Machiavelli, bruh. Faustian. Come on, get with the program, schleppers.
There's a lot of restraint for saying certain things about Israel back then.
Talk about like the tankers and shit. The tankers were just taking them. Yeah. Fuck it. It's our tanker. You know what I mean? Machiavelli. Faust. Shit. Get out of here. Lucky we don't just blow you up for no reason. You got oil and we need it. Plain and simple. At least we're being nice and pretending it's about fentanyl. Because just give us the oil. You know what I'm saying? Build a quick pipeline right through the Caribbean, right to Florida. A nice pipeline. Don't have to worry about no more tankers. Thanks for that oil. Here's a couple bucks. Continue to send us your gorgeous women and keep the ugly ones. Other than that, we're good. I'll talk to you next year. That's the way it goes behind the scenes. Believe me. Believe you me. Not the podcast. Oh, wait. I got to put it back on so you can hear. I can hear, too.
Budget.
Yep.
You stand for not giving Netanyahu a blank check of military sales. Are you willing to say what happened was a genocide? Are you willing to stop Wall Street from buying up single-family homes?
Yes.
Are you willing to hold people accountable who've committed crimes with violating the Epstein Transparency Act? Are
That's
you
what
gonna speak
matters,
truth to power?
especially
And
that
if
one.
You're just going to give platitudes. It doesn't matter how many consultants you get.
Yeah,
You say how many
it's bullshit.
we used to need to use the word affordability. We need to use the word higher prices. That's
It's
not
fake.
what lower prices. That's not what wins.
Thank you.
Shit is
So
fake,
this
bro.
is actually something that I've been very critical about as well.
He's
I think a lot
cooking,
of
man.
people on the Democratic Party side as well are either deliberately obfuscating Zohran Mamdani's victory. in
Oh,
New
wait,
York
whoa.
against all odds.
Yo,
against
whoa,
him,
whoa.
as well as the media, who were very critical of him.
Who's discrediting it?
Or the people on the Democratic Party side who said, "Oh, this is just affordability" as a buzzword, right? My frustration.
Ask yourself why it's president.
It's not just saying affordability is a problem. You also have to have tangible policy prescriptions, and you have to really hammer on those tangible policy prescriptions. And that's precisely what Obama did in New York. That played a formative role in his victory, like a campaign that is anchored around policies. You mentioned a couple of them. Medicare for All is a fantastic
Tangible,
one.
direct policies that affect individuals.
One. I'm totally on board with.
I like Trump's policy of giving everybody $2,000.
Do you feel like the Democrats in the absence
That's the kind of policies we need
around these key issues, who keep leaning onto the likes of the Welcome Pack or other consultant-backed movements that are trying to dilute the message a little bit, and to simply say, no, you don't understand. The people actually want marginal improvements, and here is the polling that suggests that this marginal improvement is actually much more successful. Do you feel as though that is playing a role in why the Democratic Party as a whole is still incredibly unpopular in the face of incompetence?
It's the weird social issues.
Yes, look.
That's what I think it is. It's weird social issues.
We're not going to have kumbaya unity.
I think they win on economic issues.
Lowest common denominator. I mean, you can't say I'm for affordability and then go to the billionaires and say, give me some money and I'm not going to raise your taxes. I mean, you have to stand for things. And when you stand for things, you're going to upset people. You're going to upset people if they have to pay higher taxes if they're billionaires. They may still support you, but you got to be honest with them like FDR was. You're going to upset private insurance companies if you're for Medicare for all. You're going to upset the defense industrial base if you're saying we're going to cut the defense budget. You're going to upset pharmaceuticals.
Taking away the cookies.
Shouldn't be a higher price than other countries, and if not, we'll take away your patents. You have to be willing to challenge economic power. And the Democrats kind of don't want to do that. So what are we going to have?
They've been totally taken over.
2026 and 2028.
Yeah.
And the fight is going to be, are we just going to be a party that says Trump is bad and he's terrible?
Yeah.
Are we just going to be the party that says we're going to stop ICE agents from ripping away kids from their families and deporting innocent people?
I'm a big fan of that.
Stop the
I like that.
Tariffs that in some cases have increased food prices, and we're going to stop the assault on the Department of Education and USAID and the hollowing out of NIH and the attacks on universities. All of that is needed, but I don't think it's enough. I don't want to just be the anti-Trump party and return to how things were. I want to be the party that says that ordinary Americans have been
The Republican
screwed.
Party was the anti-Obama party. It was so cringe.
That have not helped them, but have helped the defense.
Back in early 2010s.
That we have seen them suffer with medical debt at the expense where private insurance has profited, and that we are going to have a bold progressive agenda. Billionaire taxes, Medicare for all, $10 a day child care, stop Wall Street and private equity from buying up single-family homes, 1,000 new trade schools, free public college, stop giving a blank check to Israel, and
this is a winning.
Start investing in
this is winning
in our communities.
If you run on this, you'll win.
For America to build up good-paying jobs here, and by the way, stand with workers over AI. Don't have just AI eliminate all jobs.
I sure heard a reason.
With truck drivers and warehouse workers. And
we should focus on UBI.
And that we have AI technology not be stopped, but be developed in a way that helps workers. We need a vision in this country. And that is what I think that the fight has to be in 2026 and 2028. The Epstein issue for me is just a proof point of character.
Yeah.
Call out the Epstein class so you can have the trust to call out a corrupt system that hasn't been working for ordinary Americans.
It's a litmus test in the same way that, like, I think Israel was a litmus test. I often would tell people that would accuse me of being so single-minded on this issue that not only was it morally repugnant, and of course I was going to stand against genocide, but that this lack of movement around Israel or the complete defense of Israel's genocide was actually a litmus test for a lot of people that caused them to check out of politics in general and refuse to vote because
they're disgusted and mad. And Epstein will be the same thing. It'll demotivate them.
Famously said at the time, a party that doesn't want to save lives against the genocide, what makes you think they will preserve democracy? And that was the assessment that a lot of people made, even if they didn't specifically say that. But they were just like, these guys don't stand for me. They don't care about my interests at all. And And I think that's where we're at.
Should not drive back to Israel?
Democrats' refusal to recognize this reckoning, this populist reckoning that's coming from the bottom up is the reason why they're still...
Oh, I really know what that. They don't really care about us. None of them. None of them.
It's a negative
50 to 60.
When they are supposed to...
not so good.
When they're
so
supposed
good
to
at
be
all.
very popular because they're supposed to be the opposition to Donald Trump.
Right.
So it's not enough. And
how's the eye,
so
Tom?
I'm glad that you're calling this stuff out, and
I recommend learning how to do that.
You've noticed the tide shift that has moved away from the establishment Democrats and the way that they are trying to present themselves. You've called out Chuck Schumer quite a bit.
Well, I was the first Democrat to call on him to step down.
Yeah.
And then people said, bro, your career's over. You can't get any bill through the Senate. And then 1 week later, there's Chuck Schumer reading Ro Khanna's bill, the Epstein Transparency Act, acting for unanimous consent. You know what progressives need to learn? That when you're strong,
stop being a bitch. Exactly.
When you're strong in your convictions, then people will come to you.
That's what Trump does.
One thing, actually, Donald Trump, as terrible as he is, understands that if you are strong, then people will come to you. What we are is so weak. We say, oh, we can't do Chuck Schumer because Chuck Schumer then will not move my bill. I just showed you. You can call for Chuck Schumer to step down, and he still went and he introduced my bill with unanimous consent because I had the people on my side.
Yeah.
We have so many politicians who are more concerned about building friendships with Chuck Schumer than building friendships with our base. If we have the base, if we have the American
people,
have
the voters, that's all that matters.
Policies, the politicians will follow.
Yep.
I don't court the politicians, I court the people. And that's the fundamental difference in who we will have leading this party in 26 and 28. Are you going to be with the people, or is your constituency...
Watch the eyes, Tom. Watch the eyes.
So, question
Careful.
for you. In all of this calculation that's taking place right now, because there is definitely this this attitude shift. I've noticed it as well. You have the likes of Graham Plattner, in spite of their, inconsistencies from their past with all this opposition research coming out. It seems like the Democratic base of support that previously would move on the whims of MSNBC, now known as MS Now, and establishment Democrats are actually demanding more radical politics and do actually see that as the pathway towards electability. In the past, mainstream outlets for a lot of the
that's the same as the mass deportations
voters on the Democratic primaries that are those who go out and vote, the older Democrats, they would be moved by the editorial board of the New York Times when the New York Times said electability is actually about moderate.
Shit getting boring. It ain't about Trump. It ain't about Epstein no more. What the hell?
You have to vote for moderate Democrats. They would believe people, but I think the sequence
I'm in the middle of a fight.
Electoral defeats.
Trump proved that being
see what happened? I got distracted. Get my head punched in by Ty Bora.
Wasn't good success in demanding more from Democrats and are totally on board with much more "quote unquote" radical politics like Medicare for all, which is not radical at all, obviously. And so now you're seeing the messaging shift a little bit on the Democrat side. What do you have to say about people that will come out and be like, "Oh, I'm not taking any AIPAC donations now"? It's great. It is a market sea change.
Yeah,
right?
It's not enough.
Unheard of 5 years ago. People used to criticize Bernie Sanders for saying he's not going to speak at AIPAC. They would say, they would have the audacity.
He got his eye hurt.
He's a traitor. Yeah.
Speak at an
AIPAC is spending against me in my district, calling me a liar right now because I co-sponsored Rashida Tlaib's bill recognizing what the UN recognized, that the Israeli government has committed a genocide.
Yeah. No, I bet they don't like that.
Palestine. But look, I'm glad that politicians are saying that. I don't take any PAC money. I don't take any lobbyist money. But here's the point. That's not enough. First of all, because money can go through different organizations and different people. They may not
always find a way to do it.
Through AIPAC's website, but those same donors can then call some other new entity.
Or subsidiaries. The MFI is another one, Democratic majority for Israel. And also the same exact American donor base can still go and give these guys money, as you said.
But so my point is, where do you stand on a policy? Right, I said to someone that I think that one thing that the Democratic primary will want in the future leaders of the party is just the ability to say that what happened in Gaza was a genocide by the UN.
I think this is a vocabulary argument.
I said, of course, when you ask someone what do they care about,
to me, that's not like a huge thing.
Healthcare. I want to make sure I have a job. I want to
even
make
if
sure
you don't define it as a genocide, it's very clearly bad.
Have housing. I want to make sure people have
my opinion.
a living wage. But people don't vote just on who's going to increase minimum wage or who's going to help their grocery bills.
Give me $2,000
for a sense of character, of values, of who they want to be as a people.
Yeah. That's why a lot of people didn't vote for Trump.
Issue of Gaza goes to who we are. Are we going to deny things that we all saw with our own eyes? Are we going to lie to ourselves about who we are as a people? Or are we going to aspire to be a people that treats everyone with dignity and human rights? And yes, of course, what
I want my human rights.
I
want my human rights.
Living wage. But if you don't speak to people's values, if you don't speak to their sense of morality, you'll never get them knocking on doors and giving years of their lives.
He's right about that. The emotional appeals do get people more invested. He's right about that.
Inspired. Yeah. They've never had to lead. They've never had to mobilize. They've never had to organize.
I mean, this is a conversation that you and I had at the DNC specifically on the issue of Gaza, but also beyond that on immigration. If you recall, one of the major pain points for someone like myself was the anger that I had for the Democrats and their inability to deal with the issue of immigration because they were so scared of what they were seeing in the polls about 60% of Americans being in favor of mass deportation. At the time, I said to you that this is going to change inevitably, and then there will be Democrats who were pro more stringent, the Democrats that leaned into the white nativist hysteria concocted by the Republicans instead of counter messaging against that.
I think they should all get deported.
We're going to look inconsistent or hypocritical.
It's ridiculous.
And we're there now.
I agree, Asmund Gold.
Dramatically in the opposite direction. 79% of Americans favor immigration. It's the highest.
It's totally dishonest.
Hey, you lying. Where the hell you got that number from?
In the history of the United States.
Talk about illegal aliens versus immigrants.
It only took a year of black bagging and kidnapping and mass deportation initiatives that were implemented.
Nice try.
So the question I have both for immigration.
He's right about this, but he's misrepresenting it.
He's lying.
What do you think?
He's a piker for a reason.
The broader Democratic Party sentiment at the national level.
Santa Claus ain't black for one.
Do you think that it's still going to demand?
I should let you know right there. You don't know what he's.
Middle of the ground approach.
What he
where
talking
they're like,
about.
some of these guys are actually rapist monsters, and we do have to deport them.
They're all probably the same.
Joe Biden's administration wasn't doing that, which is a lie. Of course they were. If someone is doing a crime, non-immigrant, they're going to get prosecuted.
Well, then how are they arrested so many times and they're still here?
As though Democrats will be more bold.
I don't know.
Question the legitimacy of the vitriolic.
It's a systematic problem,
white nativist, anti-immigrant sentiment that was fomented in this country.
Look, I'm the son of immigrants. My parents came here from India. When I still
get out of here.
My mom says, "Please don't lose your passport." I say, "Mom, I got like the military with me."
I had Sweden in mind.
Lost.
Till you said something.
I
was like, is he from Norway? He's got like a Viking kind of thing to him.
Sense of having an accent, the sense of when you go in a restaurant and they would always order and say, "No, we don't want the ice." And I said, "Mom, they serve ice in these restaurants. I mean, you got to just get used to the ice." And I understand what it's like to be an immigrant. And here's what I know: immigrants make this country better. Immigrants contribute. Immigrants are patriots.
Not the illegal aliens.
Immigrants start.
They bring some good ass food.
We learn every single word in the English language because that's what's going to make.
I do like immigrant food.
A patriot.
Yeah. So if you come here, learn English.
And women.
About this country to contribute to this country, and I am tired.
And they work.
Very important things: food and women.
Be a part of this country.
Part of this our party.
My man.
Starting with immigrants is the problem.
Yeah.
As opposed to what immigrants do. If I were in charge when they were talking about eating the dogs and cats, you know what I would have done?
It was retarded.
I would have said our candidates should go to Springfield, Ohio. And they should stand with those Haitian immigrants. And they should start to talk about what those Haitian immigrants are actually doing.
Humanizing the migrant population against like all the racialized animus.
Instead, every trip we took was to the border. I'm not saying
the Haitians shouldn't be here, but they weren't eating cats and dogs.
Don't talk about that. But why are you always leading with that? Lead with what the community is doing. Now,
it was stupid for him to have said that.
You got to beef with a place of conviction. I got crushed. A couple months after the election, I went on Bill Maher's show.
I said
I
didn't see
against the Lake and Riley Act. And I said that because even if someone has committed a criminal act in this country, we have due process. We don't just take someone and deport them.
I disagree.
And that's why I voted against Lake and Riley.
Should be sent out.
Clearly, I lost that debate. I lost the. I mean, if you look at the clips,
because it's ridiculous.
Where are they at now?
My team was like, "What? You got crushed."
Where are those liberals at now on this?
You got
you know what?
crushed.
And now,
like I'm getting ready to crush.
Like it was the right vote.
DC.
Now everyone's come around. And you know what? The people who voted for Lake and Raleigh, they just hope everyone forgets.
Yes.
And most of the country will forget, but progressives don't forget. What do I mean by a progressive? Progressive is simply someone who looks at this person's record, who looks beyond the rhetoric.
Due process in
Why
the country.
was Bernie Sanders so popular? Because he had voted for the same thing for 30,
consistent for 50
40
years. Yeah.
People do their homework.
It's true.
Because they don't want just someone who's going to say the right thing in the right moment.
He's right about this.
Lines, who sees the wave of Bernie or Mamdani and says, how do I catch this wave? They want people who actually, when they get there, are going to fight. Because even if you win, the fight then just begins against the special interests are going to come after you. And if you don't have the record to stand up on shows like Bill Maher, how are you going to have the record when you get to the Congress or the Senate or the White House? We need people who have conviction in our politics. And
Bernie switched on immigration. Bernie used to be against open immigration too.
I don't know what the hell these buttons doing.
He used to say that illegal aliens were added into the country to displace American workers. He was right then.
Kat Abdul Ghazala.
He was completely right.
In Chicago, so many. I mispronounced her name.
Everybody knows it.
We've endorsed dozens across the country. These bold, young progressives.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that that's where the momentum is. And it's very clear that, like, the establishment Democrats are trying to lean into that momentum, not fully understanding exactly why there's so much momentum or so much grassroots backing for a lot of these candidates, and simply trying to lean into that with aesthetic postures instead of demanding more, instead of openly calling out what Israel has done as genocide, openly saying that Israel is an apartheid state, and demanding change or reconsidering the way that we have aligned with Israel in perpetuity.
Watch the Terminator, guys.
Oh, I'm not taking any AIPAC money.
Fucking Terminator.
It's still good that it's like moving the needle in the appropriate direction, but it's too little, too late. And I think that like you've said over and over again, Democrats need to stop being afraid of leading.
Listen, I thought I was.
We have a state.
We start watching him include legal and illegal.
I agree with that. Right, just too early.
I think it's dishonest.
And, you get punished for it.
I gotta rethink my strategy.
Whether it be my opinions on Israel, whether it be my opinions on how the Democrats mishandled immigration, the conversation around the immigration. This is something that I was very critical on the Biden administration on from April 2021 when they first noticed that a lot of people were getting agitated. And they thought, if we just don't address this at all, if we don't do anything that Joe Biden ran on in 2020 and defeated Donald Trump on, the first 100 days of immigration was this comprehensive agenda leaning into amnesty and things of that nature. But they saw an overwhelming amount of people come to the border, as usually the case whenever there is a non-Republican in charge. They didn't know how to handle it. And this issue got completely out of control. At the time, I said they should have prosecuted Governor Greg Abbott for trafficking human beings across state lines in a deliberate effort to gum up the works. The already established the immigration processing was made even more difficult deliberately, without even corresponding with the other states and officials from other states, in an attempt to exhaust their funds and exhaust their resources. And it was very successful. The very fact that Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott were able to do this without any scrutiny whatsoever is incredible.
Kick him right in the face, like Tony Burke. And I ain't gonna say, damn, Michael Chandler, you bastard, for doing that.
One, this doesn't happen again.
You messed up for doing that there, Tony Ferguson.
Being processed now in places like New York, Rhode Island, and many other places, actually had the localities there actually had the proper funds to make sure that they were integrated expeditiously.
Back off me.
And not be this
for illegal immigrants
strain on the
he said the
limited resources that they had.
Finally.
Very frustrating to see this all the time, but One last question I have for you, because we've already
saying Greg Abbott was in the wrong, listening to illegals cross state lines.
Fun.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do this. Hours straight.
I do it for
every day.
10 hours, 8 hours.
He does not stream for 10 hours.
I'm a very stubborn person.
Keep him on the end of your jab. Keep him on the end of your jab, DJ.
Educated and informed community, and they're the ones.
Probably some of my viewers are in this chat.
Are the ones who are finally.
It's probably what it is.
I mean, we're gonna change things.
They're nerds. That's why. It's a Saturday afternoon.
Soften his leg up, DC.
Listening to me talk to a congressperson. They're not. I wouldn't say they're like the
we got them.
Call them losers.
American politics appreciators.
But they're the activists. They're the ones who will be knocking on doors. Will be on social media. We have
They'll be tweeting at me.
Historic chance finally to build a progressive movement in this country.
We did it.
To finish the job that Bernie Sanders did. I endorsed him in 2016. I co-chaired with Nina Turner and Ben Cohen.
Tina Turner?
His campaign in 2020. I was one of his national co-chairs. And we should have won. The country would be a different
Simply
place.
the best.
We didn't. We came close. We can finish the job.
I don't know if he came close, but
and build an FDR-like progressive coalition. And that's going to happen because of people here. I mean, this is the energy of the movement. And with Zoran winning, it shows anything is possible. The energy is on our side.
Sure does.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
How about that?
Do you fear that
You're going to see pigs fly in this
foreign
motherfucker.
governments may take action against you beyond simply trying to disparage you and dumping boatloads of funds into your
If you had to guess.
Well, look, they're going after me both because of the Epstein
Come on, man. I'm
issue
taking that
and
front
because
leg
of my,
out, son. That lead leg is mine. How you just be in the face? How you slump me like that? Yeah, how you slump me like that?
Some of the tech billionaires don't like me these days because I said that we should be for the workers and not just have AI data centers everywhere when it's increasing electricity costs and using water costs. And I said that the tech companies need to be
my hands are down.
To have renewable energy and need to have water use standards. And so some people
right on the button.
And so I have taken on some powerful interests. But
killing PC gaming. Yeah, can we talk about the RAM costs?
In jail as part of Gandhi's independence movement. Literally in jail.
Yay!
He was jailed twice.
I bought the 4 terabyte motherfucking thing for this motherfucking PlayStation. That shit like $400.
So when I think about what risks I'm taking,
to be able to hold 5 games
I'm fighting for, I think nothing I do.
He's playing on a PvE server.
The courage that my grandfather had. And by that, I don't just mean my grandfather. I mean all of the people who have sacrificed for.
We're on a PvE
nation.
server. We're lucky.
People who fought in World War II and scaled the cliffs of Normandy. Whether they were people who were beaten in the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Whether they were part
Anthony
of
Pettus Bridge.
Movements around the world.
Where the hell is Anthony Pettus got a bridge at?
America to build a truly multiracial democracy.
Detroit.
Equality and dignity of every human being. To move beyond the colonizer's model of the
world. Do we have a bridge? I wonder if Anthony Pettis do we have a bridge?
I think we should have borders, personally.
Every person.
Yeah, I think we should have borders.
I
think we need borders.
To be in the United States of America to have that chance.
Yeah, I always say, look, while white supremacy is
awesome. I mean, what? Wait.
A resilient galvanizing factor for many.
I didn't mean that shit.
Like Americans are much more open.
That'd be funny as shit.
About diversity than
half black
European counterparts are.
Yeah, we're better than Europe.
That's precisely the reason why, spite of Donald Trump's popularity,
it's true.
In spite of how much he hammered on, undocumented migrants doing all these crimes and whatnot, which is pure manufactured hysteria, manufactured outrage, that Americans, by and large, are very inconsistent in the way that they see the world, and there's a sea of contradictions there for the average American politics understander, the median voter, and that's precisely the reason why they, the very same people, if you were to ask them, the very same people that were holding up even the mass deportation, deport them all placards at the Trump rallies, if you were to ask them, do you think an immigrant that's been here for 10 years, that has done no crimes whatsoever, should have amnesty? After background check,
an illegal alien,
all collectively say absolutely. And I'm not making this up. I'm not making up a hypothetical person. There's evidence to suggest
this game ain't as gay as I thought it was. I thought it was much gayer.
It is the polls, I'm sure.
It's a reward structure.
Because I grew up in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. 99% white Christian. I was one of the only Indian Hindu kids, Indian American Hindu kids on the street, and I used to play Little League baseball.
Yeah,
I couldn't hit. They used to put me ninth. When I used to go up to hit, they used to say, watch the bunt. I was so bad at hitting. But I knew those folks, and I knew they were decent, and kind and welcoming, and that they wanted me and my family to fit in. They didn't understand
because you were illegal immigrant.
It was a good community.
We get it. We get it.
Good people.
And you turned out all right. You're the one guy that didn't turn MS-13. Thanks.
Import illegal aliens.
Immigrants. Blaming.
We got the one guy that didn't turn MS-13 on us.
LGBT and trans people because they don't want to
or
deal
trans.
with the wealth and the power that is shafting folks. And if we come in with truth, if we come in with honesty, and if we say, look, we
come with that truth.
Multiracial
need some of that
democracy
truth.
can respect each other,
Yeah.
and we are sick of having our money go to Argentina or Netanyahu. We're sick of the wars in Iraq or Venezuela or Libya. We want Medicare for all. We want $10 a day child care. We want to tax
$10 a day child care is crazy.
I don't want no child. No way. I don't pay no child care. I don't want no child.
American,
Shit.
That
whole program is wrong.
I call it economic patriotism.
I call that
believe it's a
crazy.
patriotic vision of what America is supposed to be, of how you can have an Indian American of Hindu.
I believe if you got a child, you should pay $1 million to me.
Afternoon and inspiring a nation. Let's be the best
in a room filled with Christmas decorations.
With Christmas, there you go.
But no, absolutely, it's what you're describing is coming fairly close to class first politics in general. This doesn't mean that you write off, other marginalized identities or other marginalized groups in this bargain, but it's more so to bring voters from the other side.
They want 15
without
minimum wage, but also want $10
child
child care.
That in the absence of Democrats engaging in this sort of class-first politics,
that's what they
often simply engage in this aesthetic posture towards like protecting migrants or protecting trans people, and they're the first to write them off, as we saw in the aftermath of the last general
because
election
the policies aren't popular.
They were like,
that's the reason why
we were just like too protective over trans people. It's like that wasn't even a point of contention at all. You never
absolutely
did.
was.
And the only reason why you were defined by those policies is because you were not defined by any of the policies that you wanted to put forward, because in the absence of being defined by easy to understand policies like the ones that you suggested, of course your opposition is going to frame you in whichever way they want to, and you're going to be and the public is going to see you by your opposition's framing.
Public is going to see you.
Well, Dr. King is the most eloquent on this, and I don't remember the exact.
Dr. Martin Luther King has been talking about this?
The white man.
How the hell did he?
Well, how do I feed?
Where you heard from him at?
They fed him Jim Crow. When the white man said, "How am I going to have a voice, and why should I accept my place?" They fed him Jim Crow. And what King diagnosed was that systemic
Crow is nasty.
racism
Why would they eat that?
Answer to mass.
To class awareness.
You could eat chicken.
Yeah.
And
Jim ain't got no chicken.
He's right about this.
Movement that Dr.
He's right about
King
this.
was building with Bayard Rustin and the freedom movement that Jesse Jackson was
Identity
building,
politics
that had,
distract from class
white
politics.
Working class, black working class, Latino, people wealthy or not, who believe that you can have a multiracial democracy with dignity for everyone and not just wealth concentrated.
Not everybody deserves dignity, my friend.
Impunity. And
only a couple people, actually.
The ultimate impunity is if
I
you
can count them on my hand.
girls and get away.
That's a big one.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a
thanks
big
so much, Rokana, for coming on.
Yep.
Not one weapon in this motherfucking room. You kidding me?
Very busy Saturday.
I love it.
assume.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, to you as
buddy.
well.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
That's the new thing in Fortnite. No weapons.
I will say that, for Hassan, definitely, I think that at the beginning he talked a lot. It would have been nice if he let Rokana talk more. But other than that, I think he did a pretty good job on the interview. And, I hope that this is one of the issues that, with the Epstein files, I think this is something that we should put aside other bullshit politics for. And it's something that is that important, that meaningful, that everybody should just say, listen, let's focus on this.
I already told you, the world will revolt.
Brought Rokana on.
They can't do it.
I think he did a good job with the interview, and overall,
Where you going?
Yeah, it's. I think that we're better off after it than we were before, right? And so that's what I would say. Yeah, I mean, again, I try to be fair. I'm a fair guy. One way or another, I'm trying to be a fair guy as much as possible. So, why does son have Christmas decoration? Anything for Ramadan? I have no idea. And he's candidate for DNC needs in 2028. Yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of what Rokana is saying. Like, in my opinion, I think that Democrats have a massive issue with this. Like, because in my opinion, I think this is a pick one situation where you
getting warmed up.
Can pick to have mass migration and unfettered immigration of third worlders without a lot of vetting, or you can have really strong social programs. I don't think that you can have both of them, because if you bring in a bunch of people that aren't net positives to the economy, the amount of money that's being withdrawn from these systems becomes too high. And
what is this story about? This shit looks scary. Man.
Hey, come here, kid. Come here, buddy. Come here.
Some ominous shit.
On January 26th, 2024, a family of 5, a father, a mother, their 20-year-old son, and 2 young children under the age of 5, were living a normal day inside their home on 94th Avenue Northwest in Coon Rapids, Minnesota, completely
Coon Rapids
was coming their way. As a navy blue Nissan Altima pulled up outside,
I ain't
3
saying
suspects
nothing.
stepped out.
I ain't
2 of
saying
them dressed
nothing.
in UPS-style uniforms,
probably mean
pretending
raccoon.
to be delivery workers while secretly planning a robbery. A plan that would, within minutes, explode into a brutal encounter that would shock the entire community.
Our coverage is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. A crash, a fall.
And Morgan and Morgans ain't paying me.
By Midwest
Shit.
crime and has never been seen.
Morgans and Morgans. Is that Rampage Jackson and shit? Rampage Jackson, is he streaming and shit? He's streaming as a criminal? Like, or is that his son? Actually, is a criminal. Oh. Honey, we being robbed by Rampage Jackson. Hi, I'm Rampage Jackson. I got a delivery for you.
One of the victims steps out, apparently completely unaware the delivery is a setup.
And dog don't even know. Dog's like, come on in, buddy. Come on in, friend. Dog ain't aware of shit.
Ain't no big dog, is it? Ain't no big dog, is it? Not yet. Hey, check it out. Come here. No more.
I said it ain't no big dog, is it?
Move your hand. Move your hand. Open the window. Move like that. Open it.
The home security camera captures the third suspect come up the driveway after he's waved in by the other men.
Come on.
Oh, dang. He pistol whipping her up and shit. You're like, shut up. Where the money is. Damn, what you did to the dog, brother? Black people mean the dog.
The mother managed to call 911, leaving the line open so dispatchers could hear what was happening as the chaos unfolded.
911, just the emergency.
Give me the fucking money. Damn, he is very rude.
Come on with the money, man.
Not a very nice guy at all. Man, what you doing?
Give me the money.
I should have hung a left. I knew it. I knew I should have went right.
Go give me the money.
Damn it!
Come on.
Went to my blind side. I circled left.
I'm getting up.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna smack the out your son.
Okay, I'm going.
Go ahead. He deserve it. Go ahead and slap him. Tell him to do some laundry.
Go get it.
It's right here.
Get it. Come on, open it.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh at shit like that.
Open. Where is that? This ain't all the money.
This ain't even half the money.
So I got to get violent.
No, please
Okay.
don't. That's all the money we
He ain't got violent yet. What the hell has it been so far?
Okay.
I've been being nice this whole time. This is nice beat. God damn. Titties out and shit.
With no mercy, one of the intruders turns on the father, 39-year-old Mario Alberto Trejo Estrada, and a single shot to the head ends his life in the entryway of the home.
Damn. Damn, son. Shit. In a wrong, bad day in that household. All from a delivery. I'll be answering no. I don't care nothing about who you are delivering. Dang, they beating up everybody. That's on YouTube and shit. Shit, someone's screaming in my ear.
Here in a second.
I'm gonna say, where the hell is the police? Jesus.
Kyle, cover me.
Kyle, where you been?
Come here. Come here. Come here. I need you to come with me.
We're trying to get the kid out.
Come here, bud. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come here. Come here.
I got candies. Come on.
Come here. Come here. It's okay.
You make it sound like a little dog and shit.
Come here.
Come here, buddy. I got a treat. Come on here, little buddy.
Come here, kiddo.
Walking 1309, you've got 2 more cars coming to the area. 31.
Come here, bud.
After rescuing the 2 young children, officers were faced with a horrifying scene. 3 victims, each killed by a gunshot wound to the head.
Jeez.
The house was immediately secured, and investigators began meticulously collecting evidence, including physical items and surveillance footage from cameras throughout the home, in an effort to identify the perpetrators. The navy blue Nissan Altima was traced to 39-year-old Alonzo Pierre Mingo, who was arrested later that day after being spotted leaving his...
Ain't no black guy, no Altima, bro. Get out of here.
Investigation, including home surveillance, DNA evidence, and
Say it ain't so.
records, led law enforcement to the 2 other
Next thing you know, you're gonna tell me it was a
brothers
kid.
Omari Malik Shumpert and Demetrius Trenton Shumpert, both of whom were arrested shortly thereafter. All the evidence, from security footage to forensic and digital data, pointed directly to the Shumpert brothers, who had tried to cover their faces, leading straight to the interrogations.
Do you know the incident I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. You had no idea.
I know that somebody got locked up.
If he say didn't do nothing, I'm gonna kill myself.
It's a name that you said.
I'm just kidding.
Who got locked up?
The name that you
I'll
said.
never kill myself.
Somebody's name Alonzo or something like that.
My evil self.
But you know Alonzo?
Yeah, a little bit. I know of him.
Okay. You knew more of just of
Your brother?
Right? You guys go way back.
No.
To Chicago.
I'll say yeah.
Oh man, we in the zone. We in the zone.
You know, somewhat of the same level.
Ah, kid, no.
Like you said,
no.
Back, like basically like friends, anything like that? No.
Not friends. All right, but you've known him all the way back to Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you living now?
Huh?
Where are you living now?
Alone in Minneapolis.
When's the last time you talked with Alonzo?
I'm gonna say like a month ago or something like that.
A month ago?
Like a month and a half, I think.
A month and a half ago?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a lie. So that was already on camera. That was already...
Oh, damn. I mean, like, why you ask me? You're going to tell me I'm lying and shit.
A person.
I
don't know if I explained
You
it.
ask me and I give you an answer. I expect you to believe me.
Unless you can tell me to help.
But I was saying, you can't tell me about that because I heard about it. The whole world know about it.
Sure.
That's everywhere you go at work. Hey, you heard about what happened? Somebody got killed in Coon Rapids. 4-5 people.
Yeah, how about a health packet, somebody?
So what did I do?
You were there.
Wasn't there.
You were. I mean, you're probably not going to take my word for it or anything, but I'm not lying to you. I'm not making stuff up. We had the pull camera. Well, we did. Somebody had a pull camera in the house. When we see you pull up, we see the three of you get out, walk up to the house, just you and Alonzo. He knocks on the door. You don't come to the door at first, and you start walking away. As you guys are partway down the street, or partway down the driveway, he comes outside, so you guys walk back. Okay? On the door there was a camera. And you had gloves on, you had a mask on, but we're still able to tell it's you.
With a mask on?
Yeah. Okay? And then, who'd you wave up?
I didn't wave nobody.
You're sitting in the car and you waved him up.
You said I was sitting in the car?
No, he was sitting in the car. The third person was sitting in the car and you waved him up.
I don't know.
Okay?
I don't know who that was. I don't know who that was with no mask on, but it showed it wasn't me.
No health.
You ain't asked me where was I at, or was I somewhere else, or nothing.
Where were you? I know where you were, but where were you? And then I'll follow up on that. And
you know I was there already, right? That what you said?
I do, but if you were saying you're somewhere else, you tell me where you were, who you talked to, and I'll follow up with them and rule you out. That's only fair, right?
That's crazy. You say on the 13th?
The 26th. January 26th.
I know I wasn't there. I wasn't at nobody else. I wasn't at nobody's house.
Okay. We go in a crime scene, the whole 9 yards. You're touching your face. You're hitting the liver.
I see?
Yeah, I'll grab them.
You said I'm hitting what?
You're touching your face. You got a mask on. Yeah. You're touching your face. You're touching the lizard cage. You're touching the face. You're touching different areas. You're breathing through the mask. Okay? We're getting to the point of the evidence is mounting up so high, it's hard to get out. Okay? Right. There's also audio, and you can be heard on there saying, "Ain't no big dog, is it?"
What?
Ain't no big dog, is it?
What do that mean? Ain't no big dog, is it? Not yet.
You tell me. Can you say that?
What I said. What do that mean?
That's what you said when you were there. And you also have a very distinct voice.
I don't say nothing like that. I don't know what that means. What do that mean?
Oh, that's just what you said when you're walking up and you were talking
Why would you want me to say it?
To the guy in the driveway.
Why would you want me to say it?
So that I can compare it to what I heard in the video. Right?
I'm not gonna say that.
Okay.
I don't know. Nobody said nothing. I don't even know English.
You knew I was there already, so why you want me to say it?
Well,
anything.
Hola.
All day. And I can prove that you're there. And I can prove that
No hables inglés.
Prove I was there? Sure.
Yeah, because everything.
Well, hold on. We'll get a Spanish speaker in here. Me no hables Spanish neither.
Yeah, the 26th. That's the 26th. That's the day I couldn't go to work because I had my baby with me.
Okay.
And my.
Oh shit! Somebody coming up on me. I ain't see it. Fuck. There he is.
And I didn't go to work that day.
Where were you?
I was in the house.
Is that what you're gonna?
I'm not ready for combat.
You're never at the house or anything.
No, I wasn't at the house.
Not ready for combat yet.
Did you get?
Yeah, I can get you still photos of it. Doing good? You still want me to get warm water or cold water? Alright. Give me this one. You can grab it, you can hold it if you want.
Oh, you bastard!
And that supposed to be me? Or somebody else?
I know it's you. I can print off a couple more, but I don't know if that's going to convince you or not. But just so you know.
No, it ain't going to convince me. I didn't do it.
Any of this. Okay?
I don't know nobody did do it.
Suspects in the Coon Rapids triple homicide were
Coon
indicted on
Rapids.
multiple counts of first-degree murder.
If you laughed at me laughing, you're the problem.
Murder. Alonzo Pierre Mingo, identified as the alleged gunman, was found guilty by a jury on multiple counts, including 4 counts of first-degree murder.
Damn.
In September 2025, Mingo was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Damn it, Mingo!
Demetrius Trenton Shumpert, who participated as an accomplice in the robbery.
Damn it, Mingo!
6 counts of first-degree murder.
Yo, this one freaked me out. This video over here. Wait till you see this one.
Against him, citing the particularly.
Apparently, did you know that they found a Stargate in this motherfucker, and that's why we attacked Iraq? I had no idea until Anonymous told me today.
Offices go down the day of the attack.
Stargate.
But not least, we have the Pentagon.
I didn't know there was a Stargate.
Theorists have argued that the damage done to the Pentagon wasn't the result of a plane, but potentially a missile launched from inside the US government, citing the dimensions of the impact as evidence. After all, how does a plane 125 feet wide and 155 feet long create a hole that's only 60 feet across? It's worth noting that plane wreckage has apparently been found at the crash site, and eyewitnesses say that they saw a plane crash. Even the conspiracy theorists themselves don't agree on the missile idea.
It's the shittiest coffee warmer ever, man. Not even. This is warm. It's a coffee warmer for sure. I need a coffee hotter.
The only footage
what do you want for Christmas? I need a coffee hotter. What the hell is that? It's like a coffee warmer.
Are available to see
but hotter?
Whatever happened at the Pentagon, the question remains: how could a plane make its way not only into the airspace of
Magic?
the most
How you else think?
Sites in the world,
Magic,
but also crash into their most predominant
easy answer.
Headquarters?
Easy.
Just like Building 7,
Magic.
Theorists hypothesize that incriminating evidence of government wrongdoing was targeted in the Pentagon attack. Observing the bigger picture then, why? Why did this happen? The most common theory is that 9/11 provided the United States and the United Kingdom with a reason to enter into a war against the Middle East, most notably Iraq and Afghanistan, providing motive and support from the general public. Most theories about this suggests that the US was after oil in the Middle East, and others purport a variety of banking, corporate,
that sounds like Venezuela today,
and military interests for the purpose of creating.
I say we should just take over. You know what I mean? Fuck.
One world order that could
just be honest about it. Like, nah, we want the oil. That's all. Fuck.
But the most
what are you gonna do?
interesting theory comes from Dr. Michael Salah, who states that Saddam Hussein, the leader of Iraq at the time, had actually found remnants of a Stargate built by the
You listen
Anunnakis
what that man just
while
said?
excavating one of the ziggurats.
Anunnakis.
Mesopotamian temples in Iraq. As a result, he had threatened
and messy is some kind of messy temples.
Disclosure and domination. Thus, the orchestration of the 9/11 attacks was a deliberate ruse to justify the acquisition of the Stargate and other ancient artifacts and technologies into Western hands.
I thought it was Saudi Arabia.
To learn more about this mysterious species, please watch our
Where is the Stargate now?
If any of this is true, then that would imply that at the
time, imply that you're crazy.
Government, with their hands in many
if any of this is true, you would be a dumb fuck.
Influence as they wanted with certain countries in the Middle East. Or, if the secret government had complete control, then for what reason could they have purposefully staged this event? When we pull back the curtain on the workings behind the scenes, things become strange and even frightening. The most infamous mind control experiment in history is MK-Ultra, otherwise known as Project Bluebird.
Yeah, it is.
The most terrifying thing
I know that too.
Is that it isn't even a theory. MK-Ultra was a real documented CIA program for which the CIA has faced repercussions legally. It's well established that some of the experiments in the Ultra project were illegal. The US government willingly experimented on its citizens without their knowledge or consent. Yet, no one seems to bat an eyelash. Perhaps because no one really knows the true extent of what actually went on behind closed doors. The official aim was that experiments on humans were intended to develop drugs and procedures to be used in interrogations in order to weaken individuals and force confessions through mind control.
You believe that shit?
The program was officially authorized in 1953, but supposedly got reduced funding continually until its disbandment in 1937. There is also the elusive Montauk experiments located at Camp Hero, Montauk, which began in the 1950s. Camp Hero also swirls with conspiracies and rumors of mind control, psychedelic drug experiments, child abduction, and even time travel. It seems incredibly coincidental that the Camp Hero events started in the 1950s, which also experimented with mind control. It doesn't seem to be a stretch to argue these two projects were connected somehow. Interestingly, the events of MK Ultra came to light in 1975 after an inquest by the Rockefeller Commission, yet efforts to find the background of Ultra were hindered by CIA Director Richard Helm's order that all MK Ultra files be destroyed in 1973. As a result, the committee had to rely on the sworn testimony of direct participants and on the relatively small number of documents that survived Helm's order. In 1977, a Freedom of Information Act request uncovered a cache of 20,000 documents.
Uncover some cash? How much?
Led to Senate hearings later that year. As recently as 2018, declassified documents included a letter to an unidentified doctor discussing work on 6 dogs that had been made to run, turn, and stop via remote control and brain implants. During the experiments, modern estimates placed the funding and budget at roughly $87.5 million in today's money. A lot of the early research was focused around the psychedelic drug LSD.
Oh, hell yeah!
It could be used to make Soviet spies defect against their will.
Shit, you can make me do a lot of the same. Give me some, I'll do anything.
Own operatives. When it first began, they didn't test on strong-minded people, though. No, the first tests of the drug were done on mental
Democrats,
patients, prisoners, drug addicts, and sex workers, because, and I quote,
OnlyFans models.
Back.
Damn,
according to Tim Weiner, writing
that's
in the
messed
New York
up.
Times, they
that's today. Like if they did that today, that's like experimenting on OnlyFans models and shit.
74 days straight,
Fucked
as well
up.
as giving it to their own employees, military personnel, and scariest of all, unknowing members of the general public.
Well, if they so dumb, why they way richer than me? Somebody need to experiment on my ass with some LSD.
Without the subject's knowledge or informed consent.
I'll tell you the truth.
Which was a violation of the Nuremberg Code after World War II. This is the only place where the CIA got into legal trouble. It is thought that the aim of this was to find which drugs would bring about deep confessions or wipe a subject's mind clean to be able to program them as robots.
Give me LSD.
Later on, another.
Give me LSD. I'll be like, what you want to know? Thank you. The truth is, he did it. Anything else you want to know? Should I tell you everything you want to hear?
And even DMT and AMT, another lesser-known psychedelic,
AMT,
but similar in nature.
Never even heard of that
DMT. In these experiments,
AT&T?
adverse reactions were a pretty common occurrence.
Try this. It's AT&T.
One operative who received LSD in
Very
morning
expensive.
coffee
Cost an arm and a leg.
And ran across Washington.
And not work.
Seeing a monster in every.
Oh well, look at here.
The
Looks like we got up a
Frank Olson, an army chemist who had never taken LSD before, was secretly dosed by his CIA supervisor, and 9 days later.
You can secretly dose me too. I don't even care about that. I just walking around surprised as fuck. Everything look crazy.
Falling into a
woohoo!
depression and paranoia.
It's
a
surprise.
People who did consent, and they were subject to even more extreme experiments, such as being dosed with LSD for 77 consecutive days. The culmination of all of this research, however, was that by 1962, the CIA had developed a series of
177.
Most notably, the BZ compound, which was thought to hold greater promise as a mind control weapon. It was at this point that many academics and private researchers became disillusioned with the project. Perhaps the greatest asset we can learn from this revelation coming to light is not only the extreme methods employed by those within the deep state, but also the acknowledgement that just as much as
psychedelics, fuck is this goddamn thing? Sorry about the language.
There is ample evidence now that they
but I'm very curious as to where this
thing
is.
and lasting psychotic states, and it entirely depends on how they're used, messing with the neurochemistry instead of harmonizing it with a higher consciousness. While all of this was happening, they also experimented with hypnosis, with goals of creating hypnotically induced anxieties, as well as increasing an individual's ability to learn complex material and increasing memory and cognitive ability. To do this, the CIA actually ended up setting up what were essentially concentration camps for study. And once again,
I see your feetsies, guy!
All the while in the mainstream world, it
I
is
see
laughed
your
at as
feet!
nothing more
Where'd
than
he go?
superstition. As Stephen Kinzer pointed out, in areas under American control in the early 1950s,
Why people being above
in
me and
Europe
shit?
and East Asia, mostly Japan, Germany, and the Philippines, the CIA created secret detention centers
Give me my
so that
damn
the
gun
US
back.
could avoid criminal
Dumbass gun.
prosecution and work in secret. The CIA captured people suspected of being enemy agents and other people it deemed expendable to undertake various types of torture and human experimentation. The
there he
prisoners were
is. I
interrogated
see him.
while being
I
administered
see him.
psychoactive drugs, electroshocked, and subjected to extremes of temperature, sensory isolation, and a whole host of other terrible things in order to develop a better understanding of how to destroy and to control human minds. These experiments likely developed tremendous understanding of how the brain responds to a variety of extremes and how it interacts with and filters consciousness. But at what cost and for what ultimate purpose? Could these experiments lead to an influential decision
fella?
the mainstream narrative, perhaps behind 9/11?
Let me get a better vantage point on this asshole.
After 1973, when all of this began to come out into the public, it prompted a number of subjects or their surviving children to file lawsuits against the federal government for conducting experiments without consent. Although the government aggressively and sometimes successfully sought to avoid legal liability, several people did receive compensation through court orders, and this whole battle is still going on today. In fact, while the CIA insists that MKUltra type experiments have been abandoned, Canadian investigative journalist claims that they continue today under a different name. Returning to the beginning.
So do you guys know the streamer Jack Doherty?
Not personally and shit.
And then stands behind his security so they can't do anything
him
about it? Well, him and his friends got into a physical altercation with former UFC heavyweight champion Andrei Arlovski last night. It happened backstage at Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. And yes, Jack immediately got behind his security once again. Here's the footage.
That dude looked like a giant from the movie 300. What are you doing? Chill.
Oh damn! Andrei Arlovski a little sensitive. He a little sensitive, bro. It's just a little guy playing around and shit.
Yo, Dave, help him, Dave.
Damn. Andre taking out security, all kind of shit.
Get out.
That was kind of funny that Jack bumped him like that. That was comical.
Yo, how are you 260 and we still eat your hits? You're a little holy shit.
Jake Paul confirms Anthony Joshua broke his jaw last night. He posted an x-ray to his Instagram. In the caption, he wrote, "Double broken jaw. Give me Canelo in 10 days.
I'm a little up, but will you take care of me forever
That's
and
just
ever?
funny.
Jake followed up by posting this. He wrote, "Surgery went well. Thanks for all the love and support. 2 titanium plates on each side. Some teeth removed. Have to have only liquids for 7 days." Conor McGregor left a comment. He said, "Fair play. Well done." Anthony Joshua has responded to the criticism surrounding his performance against Jake Paul. Despite knocking Paul out in the 6th round, many felt the finish should have come sooner. Joshua admitted that he wasn't satisfied with his performance and says he needs to do better moving forward.
Did it go how you thought it would go? And is it a success for you? I know you won. We all seen that, right? Is it a success for you tonight? I have a follow-up.
No. I needed to do better. Yeah.
I needed to do better.
No, it's a win, but it's not a success. I think my coach expects more from me, and I expect more from myself. But what can we do? We can't reverse the clocks. I have to move forward. I have to put that in the past now. After today, you may see a bit of social media trying to lap up all of the algorithm attention. But for me, it's in the past. I can't live off of that win. I've got a lot of improvement I need to do. So yeah, I'm not happy.
So I saw you when you were walking out. I got to see you. You're right below me. You were standing there for a little bit, and I was just wondering, did this fight feel?
Yo, those 4 to 7 punches that you actually threw, those weren't really good. I was surprised. I mean, that's impressive.
You need to really get up.
Yeah.
That, knowing that that's not.
There was a lot riding on it.
Wait till you learn how to throw 2 of them in a row.
On this fight. Yeah. There was a lot riding.
It's called a combo.
Fight. A lot of pressure. A lot of expectations. So I had to perform. A lot of people doubt me.
Perform.
I saw Mauricio Suleiman put a picture up.
What did they do with
put a picture up of me?
Plays and shit. Oh look, what a performance!
So there's a lot of pressure, and I had boxing on my back today, and that was what it was really. I took Jake as serious as I needed to, but most importantly,
not very. He ain't lying. He's like, yeah, I didn't take nothing serious. I knew I was gonna.
Boxing, and I know.
I was getting 90 million.
You have to be prepared. And one slip up could cost you in that ring. One slip up could cost you in that ring. As I said, credit to Jake. I'll stand on that. I'm not going to sit up here. If he would have beaten me, he would bash me. You know that, right? Imagine him up here now. They would have torn me and Eddie apart. But I'm not going to do that to Jake. I'm going to give him the credit. But if he wants to stay at the top level at heavyweight, he needs to work harder because it's very difficult. It's a very difficult division to reign in.
Anderson Silva defeated Tyron Woodley by second-round TKO last night. Both Silva and Woodley have previously boxed Jake Paul. Woodley lost to Paul twice, including a knockout loss in their rematch, while Silva fell by unanimous decision. At the post-fight press conference, Silva gave credit to Jake for his performance against Anthony Joshua despite being knocked out. He said people need to respect Jake.
Watch Jake's fight against Anthony, and what'd you think about?
Well, I think Jake improved a lot in doing a good job.
It's normal.
Anderson, I just want to.
It's normal.
Any message for Jake, especially considering that?
Yeah, my message is normal.
But you work with his company, you see how far he's come. What did you think about his performance?
It was normal.
Wow, I think the Jake doing an amazing job, and the big responsibility is for Joshua, not for Jake, but the people need to respect Jake, and imagining Jake little big and have a more time to training for this fight. I think Jake improved a lot. The people need to respect him. I don't say that only because I'm fight here in a company.
Everything.
But it's because Jake, the people need to respect Jake, I mean, every single fight go inside the ring, everybody need respect.
Ryan Garcia says he knew Jake Paul had zero chance of beating Anthony Joshua.
Well, yeah, of course, bro. When the weights matter, Jake tried his best against a heavyweight. He couldn't hurt him at all, so it was like, I told you guys it was impossible for it to
Ryan
win.
Garcia, fellow Rain Bet,
never gonna win this fight.
boxing, family.
He had no chance.
It wasn't absolute zero, but it was still
Arman Sarukian mocked both Paddy Pimblett and Ilia Topuria. Arman recently posted this on Threads. He said, living rent-free in Paddy's head. This user replied saying, who is an easier matchup for you, Paddy or Justin? Arman said both, but Paddy is another level of easy. This user replied, I would give anything to watch you pound his head against the canvas. Arman said pay-per-view worthy. And this user brought up Ilia Topuria. He said, "What about El Pato?" Arman replied saying he is busy with his ex. Patty Pimblett went off on Arman Sarukian once again.
That was rough.
Here's what he had to say in a recent interview with Sky Sports.
Ice cold.
I don't expect you to have any sympathy for Arman Sarukian, but were you surprised that you could make this interim title without him in it?
No, he's bored. Don't really know anyone who wants to see Arman Sarukian fight. I listed so many reasons why he hasn't got this title shot in an interview the other week. Pulled out on a day's notice when he said he had a bad back when he never. He just couldn't make weight, ruin the main event. Punched the fan walking out of the cage. Probably cost the UFC a lot more money. Nearly ruined another main event for the first fight in Qatar by headbutting Dan Hooker. Just don't be a little spoiled brat and you might end up getting in good graces. It's his own fault, lad. It's his own family's fault for letting him be a spoiled little baby his whole life, lad.
Yeah.
Got money.
Got him.
Thinks that he can just pay his way out of anything. Nah, lad, you got told you got to work your way back to the title. And beating Dan Hooker, who can't grapple to save his life.
Dan
Hooker. Do that. But it is funny because he's left out in the cold now because Charles is fighting Max and I'm fighting Justin. And the next person down the rankings is Dan Hooker, who he's just beat. You know what I mean? He's going to have to rematch Gamrot or something and try and beat Gamrot. For now, nobody gives a flying about Arman Sarukian. It's not my fault. Arman Sarukian's an absolute sausage.
It's not.
It's not my fault he can't control his emotions and start headbutting people at weigh-ins and pulling out the night before fights and hitting fans when he's walking out. And he knows why he's not fighting for the belt. He needs to stop about it. And the UFC is not a place. So, he's lucky he hasn't been cut. Never mind, he's not fighting for the belt. He's lucky he's still on the roster.
Kayla Harrison and Jorge Masvidal discuss what it's like having Dana White as a boss. Both agree that Dana is hard to read, and Kayla says she thinks Dana doesn't like her.
First time at the White House?
I was more nervous about my boss being there, really, actually.
Dana?
Yeah, he's kind of,
He's kind of what?
I just can't get her. Oh, here we go.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Say it. So you already did it. Say it. You can't back out now.
No, I just can't get a read on him. And I don't like that.
Fair.
Wow, okay, this is getting good now.
It's fair.
What does that mean? What does that mean? You can't...
I mean, I'm usually good at,
reading people.
Yeah.
I was going to be friends.
Yeah, I think he doesn't like me.
It was a mistake I shot.
Really?
I do get that sense. It's probably your fault.
Yeah, because you're on the show a lot. So your promoter doesn't like you, your manager doesn't like you because you come on?
My manager loves me because I make him a lot of money.
Okay. I just meant because you come on. I'm sure he doesn't love that.
Help me, I'll befriend you.
Do you think Dana doesn't like her?
Dana, like she said, is hard to get a read on.
Yeah, you have a better relationship.
On a personal level, I like Dana a lot. Obviously, what he's done for sport and all that. But we are doing business with each other. Because there's certain things I want and there's certain things that they want. And it's always, I'm gonna tell you, a fight. It's a war, but I'm his employer. I'm the boss, and all of us, I'm always gonna want more.
At one point,
I'll revive you. You revive me.
He was like, "Oh, that's great. I remember when you sold the company for $4 billion or something," and he was like, "Oh, that was great." They're talking about both their billions of dollars, and I'm just like, "Oh."
Yeah.
And then Trump asked Danny, he's like, "What do you think it's worth now?" And he said, "Probably around 20. It's estimated at around 23 billion." And I was like, "That's really good to know going into negotiations." And Trump thought that was hilarious, and that was like,
you said that?
I said that, yeah, right away. I was like, "I'm so glad you said that."
Yeah, I said that. That was me.
Justin Gaethje.
That was me. I said that. Yeah.
Lip in sparring.
That's a lot of lip for a little bit of cut, you know what I'm saying?
He got me, but I scratched him.
I
scratched him. I got my lick.
I ain't even being racist, but today I was watching on PFL Africa. First guy comes out, I was like, wow, it looks like Kamaru Usman. Second guy come out, I was like, oh, it looked like Kamaru Usman too. Everybody in the damn thing looked like Kamaru Usman.
I scratched him.
Good fights, though.
Sean Strickland went after Ali Abdelaziz on a recent Aiden Ross live stream, calling him a terrorist and an FBI informant.
Muslim Brotherhood, buddy?
I read something that... You would never want to go to Dagestan?
Watch it. Go.
Dude.
No, it's good. I don't need to.
You're not going to wrap him?
Do you know Ali, Islamic Khabib's manager?
Oh, yeah, the terrorist.
I'm managed by Ali.
Oh, you didn't know that?
You managed by him too?
Oh, no.
He's nice to me.
Well, no, he's an FBI. Nice. No, he's an FBI informant.
In what way?
So, the story is...
Like FBI, and he got info.
Hey, back me up on this.
One organization investigates, other one got info,
Hey, no, this man, hey, he was on.
and he's willing to give it.
He was on the stage. Hey, he was on the stage with Trump, bro. So the story is, he was caught. He was caught on an airplane with a bunch of passports. I could be wrong. Maybe fact check me, chat.
At Misfits Mania tonight.
How about Noah?
Defeated Warren Spencer via
Ask him about Noah.
With the win, Tony moves to 2-0 in his boxing career. And
I don't even know who the fuck Noah is. Like Noah's Ark in this motherfucker the whole time. I'm like, I don't know. How about Moses? Job?
Ariel Helwani reacted saying comeback fighter
I'm
of the
telling
year,
you.
Kukui. Love to see it. And the MMA guru
Tony
said
Ferguson's
Tony
back,
Ferguson
bro.
with a huge victory
He's
over
back.
Warren Spencer.
Couple
Spencer is
victories
tough as
now.
Gotta respect it. Tony pieced him up bad. Tony had Spencer drop dead
Tony's
in round
back.
2, screaming in his face while he was down, then nearly slept him with 10 seconds to go at the end.
Yup. Took out Salt Poppy. Yeah, hit you in the back of the head. You should be honored.
Chance for me to go out there and demonstrate to all you mother that it's fun and go after your dreams, baby.
Hey, I want to say one thing. Are you not entertained? I'm sorry. I always wanted to say that. I'm sorry.
Chase Demore defeated Andrew Tate via majority decision and remains the Misfits boxing heavyweight champion.
I mean, people get the man credit. I mean,
the MMA community was not impressed with Tate's performance or the fight itself. Michael Bisping reacted saying, God, they both suck. He followed up saying, this is hilariously bad. Ariel Helwani reacted with this gif. It says, that's a shame. Kevin Lee reacted saying, do y'all believe us now when we say Andrew Tate could never fight? Ryan Garcia thought Tate was about to get knocked out. And the MMA guru reacted saying, Andrew Tate versus Chase Demore is over. Literally the worst fight I have ever watched. No skill. Both of them throw like literal women with no training. Both should be ashamed. Insane aura loss for Tate. He looked like nothing but a body jab early. Chase wins.
Listen, I want everybody to know right now, this is the hardest guy I've ever fought in my life. This is Cobra. This is how cheap. I have all the respect in the world to this. He really pulled me out of his man. I was gonna myself after that first fight. And this man works every single day on his podcast. Told me if I do that, man, I don't care what anybody says about this guy. He's a legend, man. Legend.
And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from Iceman29992. It says, I can't believe Jake took a dive and threw the fight. SMH. The second one's from Blindly Ginger. It says the pacing of the Netflix event absolutely sucked, man. It shouldn't take an hour between fights. Boxing.
we
is
had
awful
plenty of
to
time to
watch.
look at them ring girls.
Says, didn't think this fight would happen. Respect. Those are the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one.
How about them new ring girls that Netflix got going on? Brooklyn better watch her little black buck. They a new darker princess on the horizon. I don't know what her name is. I'm gonna look it up. Shit, big, greasy, with a good grease. All of them were greased up. Smart. Jake Paul's a better promoter than. Jake Paul's 100 times better promoter than Dana White. Smarter. Dana White doesn't grease up the girls. I don't know. That being said, may Allah bless you, may Jesus save you, may Buddha give you all the information you've been looking for, may the Hindu guy keep you from turning blue like he did. And in the Lord's name we pray. Das Vidanya.
Yeah. Yeah.